Yo, hackers of Opbr. Low-key, I just have a few questions for y'all. And I genuinely want to understand what goes on within your heads. Because, I understand the reason why y'all hack. I've spoken to some hackers before. I get the idea behind all of the unfairness, how torturous the game systems are to actually even gain any progress. I fully understand why some people hack, though there are people that just do it for the fun of the game. But this video is more appealing to the people that are just distraught about the system of OPBR, if you get what I'm saying. So we all know how One Piece bounty rushes, especially the community. The community could use some work. They're not very accommodative and they can be assholes, right? I won't filter it. They can be some of the most horrible people known to man in this community. I've met amazing people in it, but to be frank, at times they're pretty rare. Anyway, the way how OPBR is set up, they basically force you to spend money. If you don't spend money, you have to save for literally a year. 6 months if Bandai gets generous with the amount of gems they give away. But a year. That's been the trend lately. A year for 5,000 RDs. 6 months for 3,000 RDs. And that system is rather torturous. I get how hard it is to actually develop your account. I get how hard it is to not be able to play on the skill level of certain people when you get to S League. I get how hard it is to not be able to reach the level that you see other players. And I understand why y'all envy all of this. I understand why y'all go through the thought process of just going to hacking instead. Right? And I'm more targeting the people that use the free hacks here. And I just want to ask y'all something. Right? So we all know that the players are assholes at times. We all know that they bully people that can't play properly. You complain to them about something, they're like, skillish, you get good, save, blah, blah, blah. Even though that's all not easy. Right? There are just some players that aren't really willing to dedicate 2 to 3 years of their lives to build a somewhat subpar account. If you aren't locked in, fully geared up, knowing what you're doing the second you join the game, you're gonna be struggling, right? You're gonna have to have somebody to guide you through to actually not make a bunch of mistakes. So a lot of players actually struggle. But now, for the main question, right? Think about the hackers. Think about the hacking that y'all have entered. Well, to be fair, hacking communities, I used to hack. I know what hacking feels like. Not on OPBR, obviously, but I used to genuinely hack. I used to hack in this game, nowhere near as big as OPBR, but it had a trading system. It had a system that was very unfair. You had to play the game for pretty much like OPBR, years to even get anywhere. And it's actually worse than OPBR because unlike that game, OPBR actually provides re-rolling. You can just buy an account. But even if you want to buy an account in that game, it costs hundreds. It's not fun. Anyway, I joined this hacking syndicate and we crashed the game's economy for the fun of the game. I was bullying players that used to bully me with my ass weapons. And I did a lot of stuff. It made me feel like this power trip. And eventually we got banned, obviously, but by then we already did a lot of damage. It took the game a whole solid year to actually recover from what we did. But that's all behind me. I don't do that joint no more. But what I'm trying to say is look deeper into what you're actually doing, folks. You ran from an unfair pay to win system. And I understand that part. That's completely justifiable. But look deeper. You're in a system now where you're basically just seen as free advertisement. They give you these free hacks, and I'm just referring to the guys that use free hacks here. They just give you free hacks just so you can advertise it. So the paying folks come and actually spend real money, like 30, $40. I don't know how real that price tag is, but if it is, they're making a bag off of this, especially if it's a side gig. Anyway, these people are talented, by the way. Low key, y'all are wasting your talent, bro. Like, no hate, y'all are talented. Like, it's not that Bandai isn't doing anything. It's just that these guys are just so adept. They always adapt. They literally innovate more than Bandai does. They know how to like implement new hacks 24/7. They're always adapting. They're always growing. Y'all are wasting your talent. I'm being for real. Y'all could find so many better tech opportunities to actually like do stuff. Like go into a job of coding. Create a business, bro. Like invest that money that you've gotten into something better. Leave this life, bro. Like low key. But back to the free to play players. You're basically free advertisement, bro, to make them money. You are a paid billboard. Well, not really paid. More like on the new management, basically. Anyway, you use the account that one shitty account that you believe that is shitty, that you were bullied on. You use that account to actually hack. Now that account gets banned literally a week later, what do you do now? Right? You hate the pay to win players, you hate the system of pay to winning. But when you look at this deeper, after that account is banned, you're either gonna have to buy another account or you're gonna have to throw your dignity out the window and beg like a little girl for another account. Right? Like, please account, please account. I've been seeing y'all across servers and y'all beg 24/7. So one thing or another, I like connected the dots and I'm like, yo, y'all are hacking. Y'all are the hackers that we need to look out for. Like, I realize that some of these hackers, they don't have any money. Like, they're just doing this because the game just feels unfair to them. But back to the main point, you're gonna have to spend money no matter how you look at it. You did not escape the system. You played yourself, right? You're in an actual worse system now because unlike Opbr, you don't have an account that you can just go back to. It's gone and you're gonna have to get a new one. You're either gonna have to beg or you're gonna have to fork some money out your pocket. And if you don't want a mediocre account, you're gonna have to be spending like $30, bro. And that's not fun, right? When you look at the system even deeper, the pay to win folks that you hated are also in the hacking system, right? Look deeper into it. Like, just think about it for me real quick. Think about this for a second. The pay to win players at the top that actually buy hacks, right? They're spending hundreds, if not thousands, every 2, 3, 4 months for hacks plus accounts after their main one gets banned. Bandai is pretty sloppy with banning accounts though, and I feel like the best way to like clamp down on hackers is to either just mass ban the accounts because they have to buy accounts and money's gonna run out at some point, right? Money's gonna run out. They're gonna stop investing, or you could IP ban them, but even then they'll still find a way around it. VPN, so on and so forth. Anyway, look deeper into this, right? Now you're without an account, you probably won't get a new one. You realize that you played yourself, you realize that you didn't escape the system, you're just under a new one, and the folks that you basically advertise the hacks to so they can look into the community and buy these hacks, they can just buy new accounts. And for the folks that are actually buying accounts, buying hacks, like, think about this, man. Like, when you check your invoice bill a year and you see those payments stacking up, you spent $1,000 in 1 year on OPBR, right? 1,000 USD. That could have went to your kid's child university fund. You could have put that money into something else. You could have genuinely invested into crypto, bro. You could have like even made the bank invest for you, right? There's so many things that you could have done with $1,000. Pay some bills, something, and you're using it on hacks. Back to the free-to-play players, bro, or the free-to-play hackers. You have not escaped the system. You are not out the matrix. The best that you're getting out of this is just more fun, but eventually you're going to realize that you're not out of the system. You're just in a new one. One that clouds everything to look like family when in reality you're just free advertisement.